We got like a really packed house. My kids, like they're much bigger, and then my dad lives with us too. But it's time to like give him the boot, which is a little bit sad to me because I mentioned like being raised by my dad, and we're very close to him. My dad never remarried, and it's a large part me and my sister's fault because we hated his girlfriends. But in our defense, Sherry sucked. Sherry's the worst. I hated Sherry so much. I remember one time I had a nightmare, and I went and I knocked on the door, and Sherry answered the door. And I was like, Sherry, I had a nightmare. And she goes, what was it about? And I go, vampires. And she goes, that's not a big deal. Whenever I get scared of vampires, which should have been clue number 1. I was about to get some pretty terrible advice. And she goes, whenever I get scared of vampires, I just cover up my neck with my blanket. Because that's where they bite you. Sherry did not invalidate the existence of vampires. Sherry told me how to fend against them. Now you make a little kid feel better about that? Go, don't worry, they're not real. Sherry's like, they're back. I knew this day would come, all right? Whatever you do, remember, you don't invite them in. I'm like, I wish you weren't invited in, Sherry. My dad, he had a real anger to him, but like we would never get hit, but we knew when he was mad, like it was very clear, like I remember one time my sister slammed her bedroom door in my dad's face, and my dad reopened the door and goes, this is my door, and this is how you slam it. Whoom! And it fell off the hinges. And I'm just sitting there as the little kid. He's like, what do you got to say about it? I was like, it's just an honor to learn under you, Father. Yeah, I'm going to pass this down to a real mean girl one day. I can't wait, My dad, like, I've taken after him in, like, a couple ways, Like, one key way that I've taken after him is that I do not hate all my kids' friends, but it doesn't take much for me to hate them. Kind of walk around with, like, a baseline of irritability, Like, like, that's what it is. Like, my dad hated my best friend growing up, Gavin, all because whenever we dropped Gavin off, Gavin couldn't shut the van door all the way. That's it. That's every detail right there. He hated him for 10 years. We dropped him off 2 times. 2 times. Which I used to judge my father for that, and now I'm a dad, and I will hate a kid for way less than that. Way less. My daughter recently told me she made a new friend named Branch. I hate the whole family. You can't name a kid that. That's irresponsible. I understand that cute little baby Branch is a nice little idea. I get that. But you understand that grows up. That becomes an adult. That's a lot of pressure on a person to have who needs to get on the internet and get a job and get on Tinder. Like, if there's ever a person in this world that's going to snap,